Record. All right. Welcome to today's Wednesday session, our Wednesday mentoring call. So let's see. Oh, that was from DGC. Hold on one second, guys. Let me put my D&D on so we don't get any calls. All right. So now that we got that squared away, so just to kind of add to what we were just talking about, what was the best thing about the last 7 days for you? A lot of us had to share, some meaningful moments. I had a meaningful one today, but as I was saying, you know it is the freedom that we get to share, the freedom to be able to be with our loved ones, to share those moments, to have the laughs or have the cigar or go thrifting or just go for a walk and just, with our significant other or, go play games, whatever it is, right? You add, people will say that, yeah, that's cool. And you add in the part that you also made money, that gets people to perk up a little bit, right? But we focus on the first part, right? The result is not the money that we make. Yeah, that's nice. But the result that we focus on is the fact that because we're not having to be somewhere doing a thing to be able to make money, we now have the ability to do both on our terms. It was so funny. Oh, well, before I go into that, today's topic is going to be the essence of virality, right? What makes up virality? What are people really chasing, right? Because it's not what you generally see. And I say generally because generally it's, I want to get all these views. I want to get all this attention. I want to do all this stuff, right? I want to get all these eyes, right? Because if enough eyes, then I will make it my follower count. I will make these plateaus and qualify for the Creator Rewards program, for the Creator Beta program, all these other programs that TikTok is rolling out for 10,000 plus. They'll hit the metrics, right? But there's an element that people are missing. And I think it's the most important element, which is people, right? And why moments go viral, right? So before we get started, let's open up with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. We thank you for this gathering of your sons and daughters. We thank you, Lord God, for the ability to come into your throne room today, just asking what we have need of, not just because you will supply all of our needs according to your riches and glory, but also because we enjoy loving on you because you loved on us first. Heavenly Father, I pray for every family represented here that your will be revealed to them, that you will protect, heal, provide, Lord God, that you'll continue to show your face to them, Lord God, to all of us, Lord God, that you would lead me and guide me in the way that needs to go by your Holy Spirit today. Season my speech so that I say only the things that you need me to say to your people today. I thank you, Lord God, for the opportunity to be a blessing today, to be a source of guidance so people can glean from today. So Holy Ghost, have your way. Lord, I pray that you strengthen all of us today to do the things that you need us to do today. And I ask a special blessing for all of us here today and every family represented. Bless Julio on his birthday and every mama that's represented here too. In Jesus' name I pray with thanksgiving. Amen. All right. So when we think about, okay, so let's do this first before I go into all that. I don't know if you're still on the call, Tiff, but Julio, let's start with Julio just in case you still are.
Yes, sir.
Julio, what do you assume when you hear I'm gonna go viral? What do you assume about that?
80,000 people are gonna see my video. It's going to be on for weeks, just people watching it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, whether they finally learned that I could dance or I have no idea. You know, they might like the way I shave my head. But
And
whatever that
uh,
gimmick might be, it'll be pushed out to whatever thousands of people.
nice. So, all right. Tiff, are you still on the call? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So when you hear I'm gonna go viral, what do you think that means?
That you're gonna get all this exposure and hopefully it's gonna lead you to customers.
Yes.
I think
See the
that's
last part.
what people think, when they
Yes.
go viral. But Kim
Yes.
has busted our bubble and told us that ain't the case.
You said I did that?
No, I said Kim.
Oh, Kim did.
And then let us know that going viral ain't all it's cracked up to be. But that's what I think. When you hear that somebody's trying to go
Yeah,
viral,
that's why I
because you
stopped
think.
practicing the dance. I was halfway through the routine, and then Kim came, and then that's it. That's it. No more. No mas.
Yeah, but you automatically think it's gonna obviously help your business and get you customers.
Yeah. Listen, and look, to be fair to Kim, I'm sorry, that's hilarious. But to be fair to Kim, I was the first one to kind of bust that bubble, right? But then it was the reality of actually going viral quite a few times, and which we'll hear from Kim hopefully for a few minutes here. So just to kind of give context as to that, but the I was the first one to kind of bust that bubble a little bit, but it's not the fact that you won't get those things, it's the fact that there's a lot more to it, right? Once you go viral. Now we're going to talk about, and we're probably going to do this in 2 sessions, right? To where we talk part 1 and then part 2, right? So we're going to talk about the back end first, and then we're going to talk about probably next time the front end. We're going to touch a little bit about it, and we can get some kind of Q&A going on so you guys can kind of figure out all the stuff to sift through it yourself, right? So we're going to talk about the back end at first. The back end of it is that the result you get, right? People have the assumption on the For You page or the news feed or whatever platform, because going viral is not limited to TikTok, right? You didn't understand that, now you do, right? Going viral is not just on TikTok, it's on every social media platform. Going viral generally means you have 1 million views on any piece of content. But what we also talk about, what I learned from Think Media, right? Think Media TV, right? It's a YouTube profile, it's a business, right? You have Viral For You, right? VFY, Viral For You. So that could be a couple 100,000, that could be tens of thousands.
Sounds like a terrible date.
Views. Huh?
That sounds like a terrible date.
Yes, it does. 100%, right? But Viral For You simply means that it's gotten more attention, exponentially more attention than you've ever gotten on a video before, right? Now, there are videos that would get like 300,000, 400,000 views, 500,000 views, right? Technically, that's still viral, right? But most people associate that with 1 million views, right? But here's the thing, the back end of that says, what did you just get? You get 1 million views, right? Let's say you hit the million, right? You get 1 million views, hundreds of thousands of likes, literally tens of thousands of comments. The first thing that you get is, yes, exposure, right? See, the common misconception in virality, especially on TikTok, because I've never seen it more apparent than on TikTok, right? The first misconception people have about going viral is purely about exposure, right? It's like saying, if I could get a loudspeaker and the entire earth can hear me, what do I get? Right now, the entire or a large chunk of the earth has heard me. Now I get all those people to know who I am. Are you going to get somebody, or are you going to get people to buy into whatever it is, or pay attention to you, or follow you, or, you know, go after whatever it is you have to offer them? Yes, you are. However, that's not the most sought after result when you talk about business, right? When you start talking about things like brand deals, right? When you start talking about things like monetization, right? Brand packages, right? And this is not just unique to TikTok. We're talking about business as a whole. You lock in the Nike shoe deal not because it's you, and yeah, they might phrase it like that, but it's your draw, right? It's all about who you bring to you, right? Which is why this one of the central pillars, if not the central pillar, well, it's not the central pillar, it's one of them, is becoming the hunted in business. What does that imply? That people are going after you, right? People are coming to find you. People assume that that's not the result. Like, okay, so yeah, people are just gonna come and they're gonna pay me for this, that, and the third just because I had a couple viral videos. Now, where people assume, for those of y'all watching the replay, where people assume that Kim just took the wet blanket to going viral because she went viral a couple times. Don't make mistakes. She made money. Oh, yes, she made money, right? She got clients. She got over 10,000 followers in less than 30 days, which is a powerful statement, right? It is a powerful thing that if that happened to you, you need to be talking about that as much as humanly possible. That line right there, 10,000 followers in less than 30 days or less than 60 days, right? Most people, me included, still haven't hit the 10,000 follower mark yet. Does that mean that I didn't make money online? Absolutely not, because I made quite a pretty penny online with God's grace and mercy, right? But hitting that 10,000 follower mark is a deal because it opens doors. But that's not what you chase. What you chase is the 1,000 people that show up every time you drop something, right? Show up every time you create a piece of content, show up every time you drop a piece of merch, even though it has a big QR code on it, right? Fun fact, the ones I sell don't have the QR code on it, but people have requested it in droves, right? But whether you drop a piece of merch, whether you put out a piece of content, whether you have a live stream or a live event or a coaching session, masterclass, whatever it is, that, my friends, is the goal, where you get people to show up for you, right? And eventually, once you get to that first 1,000 people that show up regardless, then it becomes people show up for you, or people show up because it's you. But let's break that down for a second. People show up because it's you, not just because of your pretty face or your handsome haircut, right, Julio? But it's about, huh? But it's about the value that you bring to people. What do people see when they see you? I'm talking about when they see you, when they know it's your name, it's your face, it's your brand, right? So let's do a little exercise real quick, right? And if you're busy, put it in the chat right now. So let's see. When you think of Steve Jobs, when you hear that name, right? You hear the name Steve Jobs, what do you first think of? What's your first thought? Anybody?
Pasty genius.
Computer.
He is here all week, guys. All right, give me one more. Aside from
No, for real, man. I mean, this guy never left his garage. He pacey. He got billionaire, but he
Yes.
pacey.
Yes.
So melanin might not be all it's cut up to be.
Right. Or getting outside, you know what I
Getting
mean?
outside. That's what it is.
Getting outside is
You gotta
important,
get outside.
right? But for business purposes, what do you think about when you hear Steve Jobs?
I think computers.
You think computers, right? But what is the main thing he's known for?
Oh, Apple.
Exactly. Apple, right? What does Apple say to a consumer, right? I just talked about the fact that I got Generation 4 AirPods. Why get these? I've bought headphones, I've bought Bluetooth headphones many, many, many times in my career, right? That didn't cost a tenth of what these do. I personally don't know how much these cost because I wasn't the one that bought them, right? But my original second generation AirPods cost $129. Yes, I actually told you the price because that's what it is, right? But why pay for those? Anybody tell me why? Why do people spend $129 on headphones?
Perfect quality. Best quality.
Best quality. What's a little more superficial but at a deeper level? What's something
High-end
else?
brand?
Are you in an elevator in your your
Oh,
screen?
I just raised the
Yeah,
the
I know.
computer.
I'm just poking fun at you, bro. But yeah, a little bit more superficial, but a little deeper, if that makes sense. So I know it's kind of an oxymoron, but let's go a little deeper with that. What is the other reason you think?
Oh, you get credit from the people that see you. Be like, oh, that guy bought the legit best brand.
Yeah,
Recognition from
from people, right?
yeah.
People
You can
know
have a
you got.
bag that carries everything, or you could have a Louis bag that
Yeah,
carries everything.
exactly. Exactly. Now, who knows the marketing term for what Julio just described? Tiffany, do you know the marketing term that people use to describe?
Uh,
Say again? Maybe she's on a call.
for what
All
I
right.
just described.
Yes, what you just described. People basically being seen by people and know that you bought an Apple product. Right? Do you know what term that is?
Validation.
True, but it's a actual true blue marketing term called social proof.
Ah, social proof.
Right? Social proof. Right? Social proof is where people see it, they like it, they see value in it because of perceived gain. Right? When it's and that perceived gain doesn't have to be theirs, right? The perceived gain can be yours, right? You hear somebody bought AirPods and they're like, man, I wonder what that can do, right? I wonder what that piece of tech can do for that person, right? I wonder how it does. But when you go into, oh yeah, well, when you have AirPods, one benefit to having AirPods is that you don't have to have your phone with you, right? It can be in a reasonable distance from you, right? And everybody's like, yeah, that's what most headsets do. But you know, one thing that AirPods do that I realize that is not really normal? I hear when you guys post on TikTok because
You
I'm,
might be the only one.
huh?
You might be the only one.
Yeah, yeah. I get notifications in my ear when you guys post, right? It'll tell me your social media handle and when you guys post, right? You guys post a story, you guys posted a video, right? So that's how I know I'm checking up on y'all. So y'all know I'm checking up on y'all when you least expect it, right? So the other one of the other ones too is the fact that you can have your AirPod in your ear, and there's a feature on an iPhone, if it's connected to your iPhone, that if you leave your iPhone in the room, and let's say you walk into another room and you want to hear the conversation, you just have to turn that feature on and you can hear whatever's going on in the room without actually being in the room.
I was looking for that. Is that the mother-in-law button?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I think it was my mother-in-law button. I think she'd be
Hey,
listening.
listen, one more joke and I'm gonna have to start paying you. You understand? I'm gonna have to give you a glass of water or a bottle of water and start paying you. You understand? But but that's one of the features that they have. And some people might think, okay, yeah, that's cool. For me personally, I'm a big tech dude, so I would think that's the coolest thing since shoestrings to be able to hear a conversation being outside of the room, right? But listen, whether you're married, single, or whatever, you can say it's debatable whether that thing is cool or not. But it's still a benefit, right? That people can talk about, that people will say, oh, I didn't know that could do that. I may want to look into that. The reason I got it is also superficially as, yeah, it's a higher quality product that I see other people benefiting from, right? But you see where the story comes in? The story comes in where you get the perceived benefit because the person talked about it, because the person brought that benefit up, or because the person brought that result up. Like I tell you guys all the time, you don't sell a way to make money, you sell the result of the process in which you learn, right? Here in this example, right, you learn that the result isn't the AirPods. The result is the perceived confidence booster of having AirPods, because we know AirPods are from Apple. Apple is vastly known for being a status symbol, right? You got that, you must have some money. You got that, you must be doing something on level with your life, right? That's what people think, right? Other brands like Supreme, Julio mentioned Louis Vuitton, right? Gucci. You see these brands, you see these products, you see these things, and you instantly get an image in your head. So the question is, when people see you going viral, what are they seeing? Right? What are they seeing when they see you? Right? I had a video go viral, I think it was last year. And it was talking about TikTok Shop briefly, ever so briefly, but it was a moment where I got emotional because I realized that I've spent so much time uh, executing my 4 brand pillars, right? I learned something, I test it, I prove it, and I teach it. I've been spending so much time just doing those 4 things that I rarely ever took the time to stop and smell the proverbial roses. And in the moment where I recorded, and I did not expect this to happen, not one little bit, right? I started talking about it, and I realized in that moment, well, man, I think it may be in 2023, maybe 2023. Yeah, I think it was like fall of 2023. It was the first time I got monetized on TikTok, right? And then shortly after that, I got in TikTok Shop. And to be real with you, it was not much to write home about. It wasn't $10,000, right? It was a very, very small amount. But it was the fact that I got something that I had been working a lot of years to achieve, right? And then I started thinking back on my life and thinking about how many times people told me such and such would never happen. You won't get that because stuff like that don't happen to people like you, right? You've been told that so much in your life that when it actually happens, it kind of hits a little different. And I started thinking about my dad. I started thinking about how proud he would be of where I've gotten so far in life and in business, right? Which he told me every chance he got, right? Because he always was spurring me on. He always was cheering me on, right? Right up until the week before he passed. The last post he made on social media was a pitch. Go see my son. He has your solution. Go get what you need, right? That was one of his last posts on social media. And I started talking about that, and man, it just broke. But why did people resonate with that? People resonated with that because it's a real story, yes. People resonate with that because they see that. Remember the result that I talked about? You sell the result of the process that you learned or been through. The process of marketing is not what they were there for. They were there because I accomplished something against all odds. And because they saw the benefit of, hey, I can have that, or hey, I know your dad will be proud of you, right? I want my mom to be proud of me. I want my dad to be proud of me. I want my insert person here to be proud of me. I want to achieve something like that too. That is a result. That's why they resonate with it, right? But what do you get as a creator out of a moment like that? You get people, yes, again, the exposure goes without saying, but more than that, you get people to connect with you in a real way. Why? Because I just told everybody that saw that video that I wanted my old man to be proud of me. I wanted somebody to say, hey, I know you are every inch the man that he would be proud of, right? But having that back and forth exchange of value where, yes, like Julio said, validation, but on the opposite side of that, the person gets hope. The person watching gets hope, right? For that split second, they get the possibility that if it could happen for him, if he could overcome the odds, that's what I want to do too. And what did you just create when you have that moment happen? It is the number one motivator of transactions happening everywhere across the planet, right? But yes, hope, right? But you get connection, right? That's how you get people to buy something from you or show up to an event or participate in whatever way you need them to because it's you. Because they believe in your story. They believe in your journey. They believe in where you came from. They believe in where you are. And they want to push you to get to where you're going. You want to know? Let me see. Oh, Harley. All right. You want to know why certain people on social media could say, hey, we just lost such and such, right? And we're trying to help this person get to 100 grand to help get them back on their feet, or $50,000 to get them back on their feet. Why can somebody like me get on social media and say that and have some response, good response, but then somebody like Denzel Washington, somebody like Oprah Winfrey, somebody like Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi say, hey, we're starting a GoFundMe for such and such a cause. We want to hit $50,000 as soon as humanly possible because we want to help this individual because this individual has this thing going on and this is what we need to show up for these people. Why do you think that happens? Right? Hey, Harley, go ahead and mute for a second. Go ahead and mute for a second.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was.
Okay, no worries. So, oh, by the way, we're talking about the essence of going viral, right? And we're doing the two-parter. We're doing in the front end, right? What do you get? and the back end as in like what do people get, and the other end what you get as a creator, right? So we're doing the back end first, right? So why is it that Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi or your version of that, right, can announce, hey, we're doing this thing to raise funds? Why does that happen like that? Right? Because of perceived value, right? Because Tony Robbins has been changing lives for decades. But more importantly than that, they feel like they know him. They feel like they identify with him. They feel like they identify with what he represents. And what does he represent? He represents being able to change your life, being able to build a business, be able to be paid handsomely for it, and be able to overcome the odds in order to achieve whatever it is that he sets out to, right? And so because they believe in that journey, they want to help Tony. Yes, they feel for the person, right? And you can pick any situation. And listen, we're not just gonna go for the big ones. I mean, also, when people have diseases and stuff like that, they have fatal illness and stuff, that's instantly a connector, right? But let's take it back from that a little bit. Somebody loses their house, somebody loses a car, whatever it is. Somebody has to walk to work every day, right? Yes, you sympathize with the story, right? You sympathize with the story, but you want to do it for that reason, but mostly for the fact that you believe in the person saying, let's get behind this, right? And if you want to understand what you get with virality and knowing how to till virality, as like tilling a field, planting, sowing and reaping, right? Preparing the soil, right? This is what we do once you go viral. Once you go viral, you got work to do. People think that, and this is part of front end, right? People think that on the going viral, it's just about you sitting back and enjoying the exposure. There's so much more to it than that, right? And Kim, last week or week before, mentioned a couple of the ones that are not so fun, right? Getting thrown in TikTok jail because you're commenting too fast, right? Not having the ability to respond to people as quickly because of that fact, right? Having to make a post that, hey, I'm me. I don't DM you first, right? I don't do business in DMs, right? So please follow this path to get the thing that I went viral for, right? If you want this, you need to follow this path, because if you're not being told to follow this path, or you're being told to follow a different path, it's not me, right? How many people you actually hear on your For You page, in majority, talking about those things, right? People won't talk about that because that's not the fun part. It's not the sexy part. It's not the cool part, right? The cool part is the exposure, right? And we'll talk about that more in the front end version of that, right? But this is the thing people have to realize, that if you don't learn this back end portion of it, learn how to talk about the moment that you went viral for, talk about the value in that moment, why you went viral, what made you talk about that in the first place. The unexpectedness of going viral is not just what you talk about. What you talk about is what brought you to this moment, why you decided to get on social media anyways, your ultimate reason for wanting to be on the platform in the first place. And then you do what my mentor calls a callback, right? He taught me this method. You have a win, or first of all, before you have the win, you talk about getting the win. What you would do once you get the win, right? You talk about that, where you were And talk about getting the win. Once you get the win, you have something to talk about. So you have something else to talk about. So you talk about the win, how great it was to get the win, how you felt after you get the win, how your life changed after you get the win, and then you keep referring back to that moment. And this is why I do this. This is why I got into this. This is why this is important. This is how it could change for you. If you want that change, insert CTA here. And then you get another win. And then when you get another win, you double down and you talk about that win and you talk about the previous win, right? And then you keep doing it. Where you were, where you are, where you're going. Where you were, where you are, where you're going, right? And you keep talking about how these wins change your life, right? And every time you talk about something, you start to establish yourself as a person of authority, or at least a person people should listen to, and this is why, right? And you start right out the gate with that hook. I've got 9 viral videos on TikTok, and this is exactly how I did this. If I lost everything today, I could get it back within 60 days because I've got 9 viral videos. But this is the number one thing people misunderstand about me going viral 9 different times. I'm going to break it down in this video, right? You lead with that because that's what people want, right? After you start to establish yourself a little bit more, people will start to say, like, they could listen for the first couple of seconds and they go, okay, well, let's next, so we're gonna watch what he's gonna say. We're gonna listen to what he's gonna say because I know he's gonna get to something valuable. But you better get to that thing in the first 10, 12, 15 seconds because people, even though they're showing up for you, they're gonna need to keep getting the value. That's how you build a value wall. So you get people to climb with you as you learn things. Remember I said about the 4-pronged business plan that I got? I learn something, I test it, I prove it, I teach it. That's how you get that educational style piece of content in your body of work, right? People talk about all the time, I have nothing to say, right? What was your last win? People will automatically answer that question. Well, I haven't gotten a sale yet. Well, my thing is this. Did you find a way? You didn't know the way first. You didn't think it was possible at all. You didn't think you were the type of person to be able to achieve those things in the least. But then you found out that you were wrong and you were pleasantly surprised that you were wrong. Guess what? That story needs to be told to somebody that still doesn't believe that it's possible, that still doesn't believe somebody from their side of the tracks or their part of the world, or somebody that speaks the same language as them, that they don't believe that it's possible, but they see you doing it. So you now can tell them that it's possible because I did, right? Are y'all tracking here? Let me know. Let me know if this is making sense, right? So this is the thing that people miss all the time. They don't believe in the power of showcasing the outcome. And when I say showcase the outcome, people rarely understand what I tell you guys about all the time here is that the result that you're showcasing is not the obvious one. Go through 10 videos on your For You page or your news feed in your niche, right? Spoiler alert, you are your niche, but in your category. Most of us here are in digital, well, we exercise the skill of digital marketing, but most of us are in the digital franchising portion of online business, right? Courses, programs, assets, whatever, right? We're in the digital asset world, right? Digital franchising, right? And that's the first thing. I need y'all to separate the two. Digital marketing is what you do. Digital franchising is what you sell, right? When I say what you sell, I mean when people pay you, this is what you give people the ability to learn, right? On a realistical transactional category, you're giving people a franchise. The ability to make 100% for selling something. They pay you, you give them a franchise, right? Most of us are in that space. And even if you're not in that space, at the very least, you promote online. So you're in the digital marketing, right? So what people have to realize is anything that you give people as a result needs to be what brought them to do what they want to do in the first place. Now, how many people got ideas? What do people, if y'all were to give me 5 things, and each person can give me 1 or 2, whatever it is, right? It's the interactive portion of it, right? Give me something that people say they want that's not on the For You page. Anybody?
Clarity.
Clarity, what do you mean? Break that down for me.
They're looking at all these online opportunities and they want someone who makes sense of the chaos, right? To help them, like, to be their guide, to help them be like, this is the step by step, this is how I did it. Gives them clarity, because right now there's 25,000 different opportunities that I would go crazy researching.
Right. But let's go a little bit deeper than that. Great response. I love that. Right? Use that. People want clarity, but let's take it a little deeper. Why do people want clarity?
Because you need to, like, transfer your belief. And that's the hard part about doing this whole thing online when we're not communication experts. How do I transfer because we all bought into this franchise, World and Legacy, or something similar. If we moved on, we went through Legacy because we believe, like, I'm gonna like, como dice, attach my card to this train because it looks awesome. So we believed in the system and ourselves at one point, and then we got to start promoting it. And then you're like, how do I do this? I'm not professionally trained. So we have to transfer that belief to show someone that, and the whole goal is to show that somebody just like you is thriving here, and you could do it too. And that's what people want. People are looking for someone to be like, there's a bunch of things that I can't do, so I'm not even looking at that opportunity. But there's some opportunities that if I could see you and me doing, being the same, I'm gonna do it.
Right. But even deeper than that, what do people like? Getting the clarity, getting the connection, getting the ability to see themselves in you, that's good. And that's the track you want to be on. But why get all that? Why believe in the vision? Why believe in yourself? Why do that? What brings people here? What really brings people here?
They want to see wins. They want to see the possibility that they get the win too.
But what is the win?
That defined by different people, but when they see it, whether that's time, freedom, money, or a big FU to the establishment, whatever. Like, some people don't want to go and be in the box and want to be free birds and travel.
There you go. You hit it.
Bam.
It doesn't matter where you are, what you do now, what side of the tracks you're from, what neighborhood you came from, what financial status you came from. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody. There is not one person that doesn't want freedom, right? Even the people that say they have it. Because we see, and talking about DGC real quick, there are what now? Almost 20 millionaires in South Africa in DGC.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you hear somebody go, and I won't mention any names, right? And it's not a bad thing. But you hear a millionaire in South Africa go, how do I scale? Right? How do I scale my business? What does scaling mean? How do I get more people to find value in my business so that I will be able to make more money and spend less time? Right? So even the people that are to aspire to, they still want freedom. Right? Freedom is a universal language. Right? But that's not even the point of the hook. That's not even the tip of the hook. The tip of the hook, where you pierce the heart, is what does the freedom allow you to do? Right? Having more time and more money, what does that allow you to do? Yes, having both of those at the very same time is exactly what you need to get yourself towards freedom. But to do what? That's where it becomes relative. But even in relativity, the tip of that hook that pierces the heart, even though it's relative from person to person, there will always be commonality. I heard a story, someone talked about how grateful they were to be on a flight with somebody, right? And they sat next to this person, they had a bit of rough landing, they had some turbulence and things like that. And they were sitting next to them and they were telling them about their story and things like that and why she's on the flight and things like that. And then they get to the portion of the conversation where she shares with the person sitting next to her, because they literally thought they're about to die, that I want to make it to, I think it was her grandfather, right before he died. Because they told her that he had, I think that was the last night. They said, oh, he's not gonna make it into tomorrow. So if y'all come in, come now. Right? So on the flight, they land, thank you, Jesus. And then you know how it is when that bell goes off and everybody's waiting for that bell to go off to unlock your seatbelt. Everybody stands up. It's like an opera performance. Everybody stands up, right? And everybody gets into the aisle. And this woman said, the person next to her shouts down the entire aisle and says to everyone, please move aside. This woman is trying to make it to her grandfather before he dies. Everybody moves. They part like the Red Sea. She gets off the flight. She makes her connecting flight. She gets there hours before her grandfather dies. Hours before he dies. Right? And she said she's so grateful and so thankful for that person that helped move things out of the way for her to get to the point that she needed to be. This is what people connect with. The commonality of showing up and being there in the moments that count, right? Being there in the moments that count. That is the commonality that you sell. That is the tip of the hook that pierces the heart. Having someone see that this is why I fight. This is why I show up. This is why I go live. This is why I create content, because I want to give you moments like that. Because if it hasn't happened for you, it will. Because the Bible says, appointed unto man once to die, and after the death is the judgment. Everybody has to be at that appointment. And let me tell you something, you won't be late. You won't be late for that appointment. So not if, when that happens, you won't have to worry about having to ask your boss to get off work, having to ask your boss for sick time, having to ask your boss for bereavement time. Did you know, for those of you who are not working anymore or still working, do you know that on average in human resources, they only give you, wait for it, 3 days. On average, 3 days. So which means you don't get to go be with your family and mourn the loss of the person you love until maybe the day before the actual funeral, before you put them in the ground, right? Till the day before. That's your first day. Second day, repast. Third day, just being in the moment. And that sobering reality that once again you are there at that door, realizing that time is fleeting. And then you got to go back to work. Now, it doesn't matter who you've lost. Doesn't matter who. Can you show back up to work on that fourth day like you did before you found out that person passed away? Can you? I can tell you from experience, you never can. Because the first time you hear that someone you love passes away, you're never the same. You cease being the old person, and now you're a new version that you have to get accustomed to. These are the moments that we sell, right? These are the results that we sell. It don't always have to be about death and loss. It could be about simply being the loudest voice in your kids' ears. It could simply be about being able to go on a golf course and actually enjoy the day, enjoy something that you love to do, because life is like a water vapor. You're here one day, gone the next, right? So you might as well do the thing that allows you to be free, to be happy, and to be with the people that you love to be with, to create memories, right? When you go viral, that is at the very heart of why people go viral. People go viral because the person watching can see a moment that they want themselves, right? Even if it's a funny video, right? Let's take a funny video, silly video, cat video, baby video, baby podcasting videos are very important, very popular right now. The AI baby podcast format, that prompt is very, very popular right now. But what is the result? What is the result that people are selling in those videos? Can anybody take a stab at it? Take a stab at it. Anybody?
I haven't watched any of those, so I can't necessarily speak upon it.
Well, it's a baby. It's a baby in podcast format.
Staying calm?
Good try. Go ahead.
Happiness, peaceful.
Yeah, but what do you instantly think about when you see a baby?
Joy.
Good. Keep going. What else?
Wanting to be present in the moment. Wanting to be present in the moment, I would say.
Yeah, but for who? Your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Every parent in this room, that's instantly where your mind goes. Instantly. You see a baby on the screen in front of you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I loved those days. My kids are still under 10, but I still remember how they smelled. I don't know about any of y'all on this call, but fresh baby smell, especially after they take a bath, it's been like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Right here. See, right here, in this spot right here. Oh my gosh. It's like a little slice of heaven right here.
Yep.
Right? In your baby. These are what we think about when we see the podcast video, right? And it's these babies. And yeah, it's funny, right? I've seen maybe 4 of them, right? So I haven't gone down the rabbit hole, right? I'm not tumbling, but I've seen a couple of them, right? But that's instantly where they go in their mind. They're thinking about their kid those days and how cute it was and how much they wish it could come back. They don't miss the not sleeping. They don't miss the waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning to warm up a bottle. Who misses that?
Sadly
Anybody?
enough, I do. I do. I
Right?
do. I
It's
miss
fun,
those days.
right? But at the end of the day, the commonality is that is such a beautiful thing. And then you want to give somebody that beautiful realization and the laugh that it comes with. But what do you alleviate when you pass on a video like that? Anybody take a guess? When you pass on a funny video like that makes you do that real deep, real full belly laugh, what do you pass on when you share a video like that? Anybody take a,
Connection.
but more so than connection. I'll give you one more shot, Harl. One more shot. What do you think?
I would say happiness. Feeling
Yeah.
like overjoy happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. But how it matters for what clicks inside of them is the relief of stress. For those 90
Don't
minutes
worry.
or for those 7 seconds or 90 seconds, whatever it is, they don't have stress. Right? That's
Yeah.
something everybody sorely needs, whether they're making $1 million or they're not. Do millionaires share content? Absolutely. Share content like that? Absolutely. Because it's funny, right? But that is at the core of why videos go viral. Because they create connection, because they bring value, and because it creates a moment that people want to be either a part of or they want to experience something like it. Right? Y'all ever notice why the I Quit video goes viral? Right? I don't know if y'all ever seen what is that? Last Holiday? It was Queen Latifah. She found out she was working for a retail store. She found out she had terminal cancer, and she got a misdiagnosis. End up
She lived her
going
best
through
life.
that whole huh?
She went ahead and lived her best life. No fear,
Yeah,
no limitations.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, we I think I should watch that movie every morning.
yeah.
Get
I recommend that. Right?
Because we like procrastinate and be like, I'll get to it mañana. I'll do that awesome video mañana this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the little Indian doctor, right? His race and where he's from has no bearing on it, but it's funny because of who he is, right? After he realized who he was working for, he quit. And every other word at the end of the movie, he goes, "Hello, I quit my job. Hey, how you doing? I quit my job. Hey, nice to see you. I quit my job." Right? Why do those videos blow up so hard on social media?
Because everybody wants to quit their job.
Hello.
They want to be present in life. They want to have the things that they had out. Even if it was only for a quick minute, they want to be able to have those back.
Exactly. They want that moment. They want to be there. Whether they realize it or not, want to be there. Right? Hold on one second. Oops. Yeah. Whether they realize it or not, they want to be there. They want to be in that moment. They want to be in that space. They want to have the freedom of quitting their job and not having to worry. And that's the second half of that equation. They don't just want to quit their job, because if they wanted to quit their job just to quit their job, they quit their job right now. Right? But it's answering the question, what am I going to do once I quit the job? But when you get to a place that you see the path towards being able to quit your job and not have to worry about income, oh yeah, it starts to get real attractive then, right? It's like, how are you doing that? Right? But it's that way for everything, right? So I want us to look in this series, I want us to look at the uncommon, rarely talked about reasons why people should want virality, right? And why they want virality in the first place. 97% of the people that you see in the comments of those videos talking about, I want to go viral this week, that type in, I want to go viral this week, 97% of them are just focused on the exposure. We're going to talk about that next week, right? The exposure and what that really means, right? But you don't just want to be getting exposure, right? You want to be a lightning rod, right? What does a lightning rod do? It attracts power
Kills golfers.
and kills golfers.
I knew he was gonna say that.
He is here all week, ladies and gentlemen. All week. Make sure and tip your waitresses. So, any questions as to what we've been talking about? Why it is we talk about this back end and what you get, what people rarely talk about that you get.
All right, here's a question. All right, so the point is, learn, test, prove, teach. Cool. So we're all learning, testing, and when we go viral, that's kind of some proof that you are being received by the consumers. Proving it would mean like doing that same thing, that same method, that same little variation, but that same technique, and getting viral again and again and again, right? So
Yeah.
the whole point of trying to go viral the first time is like, I got to figure out how to get whatever
How
it
to
is,
repeat the
skill,
process.
my skill up, and once that skill, so like Kim has proved that she hit the bell. Now, can she ring that bell again? I don't know, right? But
She has.
right. But then you're like, all right, can I do it again? Can I do it again? And then finally you find your rhythm and your pace and the right calibration as to where you got to be, right? Because
Right.
I haven't hit it. I'm talking like I just took a hit of morphine when I go on the camera, right? So it's not good. And then, which is so funny, I was with my friend yesterday. She's like, I love all your videos. I've seen the growth. It's amazing. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
okay.
you don't see that.
Uh-huh.
You don't see that. You're in the trench every day, focused on what's in front of you. You're not seeing how far you've come.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I took a couple of days off to like refocus on like take an inventory of what I'm good at now, of what I'm, the hurdles that, like, looking at the camera and talking, I don't care about that. And then what message to deliver, because as you could tell, I could get long-winded and off track.
Right.
So then, but that's it. That's why, how do I say this? I'm chasing virality. By that statement, I'm meaning I'm fine-tuning my skill until I know that it reaches the masses. Once
Right.
it does that, then we could refine it and keep repeating it.
But
Then I'm chasing that sucker.
But the key is not to chase virality. The key is to chase the process that gets you to virality. Everything I explained
Right.
about
That's what I said.
about about talking about where you were, where you are, what's changed for you, right? How you're growing, how you're changing, right? all those things, showcasing the things you've gotten, what your goal is, where where you want to go, where you want to get to, and giving people the opportunity to come with you. That's how you go viral, right? And how you manage virality is executing the same 4 keys where you were chasing views, where you are now getting connection, where you want to go being known for solving insert problem here, and getting people to come with you to understand how I did the last win that I got. Right? Here's the thing I learned from Myron Golden, and Tiffany, you'll like this one. He says, you give the why for free, right? You don't charge for the why. You don't charge for the that, but you charge for the how. Right? If you guys notice where you are in the academy on a Zoom one-on-one with me. Not one-on-one, in group training with me, right? I'm showing you how. On my social media platforms, I'm showing you why, right? And I am helping you learn what to chase, right? But the how to do that, is done right here, behind the paywall, right? This is what you pay for, to learn how to do what you need to do once you go viral. How you even get to virality. I almost couldn't say that word, right? Virality is always about the deeper connection. It's always about showcasing the result of the process that you've learned, right? Always. What will the money give you? The money, again, like the Holy Spirit told me almost 3 years ago, not even 3 years ago, almost 5 years ago, money is the byproduct of influence. But the question is, what are you influencing people to? What is the answer to that question? Only you can have the answer to that question for you, because it's relative to the person you're speaking to, right? For me, it's helping people get to their God-given purpose. How you do that? I'm glad to have you pay to learn how I did, right? I can tell you why you need to change to chase your God-given purpose and seek after that, right? I can tell you why it's important to have fulfillment and purpose in your life. And when you connect your purpose in life with God's purpose for you in your life, then you get true fulfillment, you get true freedom, right? I can show you how to do that. But here's the thing. Everybody's not ready to learn how, even though they say they want to learn how. So I put a paywall between it. Right? So if you're serious, you'll pay that money. Right? If you're not serious, you go around the mountain a couple more times and have people all over social media have you bouncing here, there, and everywhere, when you could have just paid the money and come to find out how I did it. Right? Notice I didn't say how to do it. Well, maybe I did. But correction, I'm not just talking about how to do it. I'm talking about how I did it. And that's the key here. No matter what business you have, no matter what industry you're in, it's not about how to do it, right? Because everybody can go to somebody on YouTube or on Google or Udemy or somewhere else and try to get, and notice I say try to get it for free. But since you have done it, you have a direct line into getting the outcome that somebody wants, which is how to do what you have done. That's how you insulate yourself from imposter syndrome, right? You insulate yourself from imposter syndrome. I can't be that guy. I can't be that girl because I am insert thing here, right? That's how you insulate yourself, right? I'll give y'all a simple, silly example. Any of y'all know how to make pasta? Like edible pasta? It don't even have to be great pasta. Edible pasta that that you enjoy. People enjoy. More people more than you, right? Harley raised her hand. I do too, right? No, it takes 11 minutes to boil noodles. Yeah, little tip, right? But that's the thing. That's how I did it. You might do 12 minutes. You might do 10 minutes. I mean, in 10 minutes, your noodles might be a little more dent and al dente, but to each his own, right? But can you go to YouTube and find out how to boil pasta noodles? Absolutely. If you want to learn how to make my famous Nicola pesto pasta, you got to come to me. Because it's how I did it. It's how I produce something that brings value to someone else. Right? And the sooner we get to that point in life, we not only boost our confidence, we create impact. Because we're not focused on being the expert, we're focused on being us. And you learn to see the inherent and intrinsic value in how God created you. Right? So, I know it's a very long answer to Julio's question. I'm sorry. I do that all the time. I know it's, huh?
Was a question about lunch?
Yeah, really. As it approaches 3 o'clock, absolutely. So, anybody else have any other questions? Any other questions? Owner's claim, don't be ashamed. All right. I don't know, Tiffany, Kim, I don't know if you guys are still on calls. I know you guys are at work too. Anything, y'all can just drop it in the chat if you have anything. Let me look here to see if there are any. All right. And before we get into takeaways as we close off here, guys, please watch the replays. We record these for a purpose, right? It's a lot of storage, right? It's a lot of legwork, right? So make sure you watch these replays, right? Go back and you may listen. There are trainings that I revisit so many different times because I hear certain things and I get a different realization because of something that's going on in my life. I understand things a bit better or in a different way because something is happening in my life that's causing me to think a certain way. And because I listen to something again, I hear something different. You ever watch a movie and it becomes one of your favorite movies because every time you watch that movie, you get something new from it that you didn't get before? And it's like the 50th time you watched it? That's the Matrix for me, right? But it's the same way. You hear things differently based on where you are in life. So please, guys, go back through and watch the replays. You feel like you're getting misaligned. You feel like you're off in your execution. You feel like you're not quite getting your groove. Go back to the replays and watch them. They are there. They're in 2 different places. You can find them in the community feed in KDA. Just look up Wednesday Mentoring Zoom. You can put that there and get that right in the community feed. You can go inside the classroom, inside the resources module, and you'll get the playlist on YouTube where I have most of our calls. 99% of our calls are in there, right? And I try to name them so you guys know what to expect. As we go on here, as time progresses, I'm gonna put different sections for what. So like we're talking about today, how we talked about today, how we're gonna go, how going viral is important, or we're talking about today what people need to know about going viral. There's gonna be a whole section inside the module on virality, right? This is part one. We talked about the back end, and on part two, we're gonna talk about exposure, right? The one thing people think they want, right? I gave y'all the meat and potatoes. Next time you get the icing on the cake, right? I don't know if that even makes sense in my analogy, but hey, we get the sweet stuff people chase, right? So today you get the cake, next week you get the icing, right? God spare life. So we're gonna talk about exposure in virality next time. So I'm gonna have inside the module about virality or content exposure, how to get to a certain level, right? I haven't decided what title to use for that yet, but it's going to be segmented into different modules in the classroom, right? As I organize the replays, right? I did that recently for branding, right? So now there is a branding module. I'm not sure if I unlocked it yet, but if it's not already, because things have been kind of haywire for me lately here, but I will be unlocking a branding module inside the classroom. So make sure and take advantage of going back through the resources and seeing how things can fall in your mind once you re-listen to some of these replays. I know, Harley, you're really good at that. So congratulations. Thank you so much for always searching through to find stuff. Cause you're always messaging me. I always get so excited whenever I get random messages from you. Hey, I learned about this. Like, oh, okay, cool. Right.
I actually
So,
remembered a question that I had earlier before we were talking. I don't really think it's connected, but the fact of deleting old videos and reposting or deleting anything off of your social media account.
oh, good. It's what Paul
Um,
brought up on his live.
mm-hmm.
Right. So there is the conversation. So okay, so the question was, should you delete videos from your social media profiles? Right. We were on Paul's live earlier, Paul Francis, Paul Live Free Francis. If you don't follow him, what are you doing with your life? Right? Make sure you go follow him on TikTok, right? Probably one of the best content coaches on the TikTok platforms, right?
I learned about his 4x4 method the other day. It was pretty
Yeah.
insightful.
Yeah.
That's why I took sorry to interrupt you, my brother. I took the week. I learned from his live. I did a little digging with all the AIs, Claude and all of them. And they gave me a basic framework of the 4x4 method. And that's where I'm going with my videos.
Mm-hmm.
Spit them out quick because I could keep you here till the pasta's ready.
Until the pasta's ready. Yeah.
But hey, Harley, I always enjoy your room, man. And when you got the light on, I love it.
Oh, you do? Let's go.
You're dope.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, he was talking about the deletion of it, right? And there's controversy all over the place. And especially for some of us that are a part of another app, we are told all the time, don't worry about that. It's not something to worry about. So of course, Harley, when she trusts somebody, that's what she goes and does. And then she gets frustrated looking at her views, looking at how her page, where her page is at. And it's like, I don't want to start over again. Y'all know how many accounts I've had? Like, I don't want to start over again. I really don't.
And even that, I'm really, really not a fan of like just things seem out of whack with your account. Get a new one. I know Justin is a huge fan of that, right? He'll tell you start a new account in a heartbeat. But yeah, no, because you know, things like that can be fixed, right? But back to the main question, right? Should you be deleting videos on your social media accounts? The answer is no. Here's why, right? You shouldn't be deleting videos on your social media account unless you truly have to. The only reason you truly have to is if you've been advised by the platform that it violates community guidelines and you need to have it removed. That is the only reason why you should be deleting videos off of your platform. Because what you're literally doing is you're taking value off the platform, right? And they see new content as value on the platform. Remember, these are algorithms, right? So they see you taking content away from the platform, and yes, it is yours, right? Sort of. They ding you for that because you're taking assets off the platform, right? And then comes the backlink portion, right? The video was there, it's deleted, right? I think there's somewhere, I think you can restore it somewhere, how, I forgot how, right? But it creates backlinks that if you go to that or you find something connected to that, it leads them to a dead stop, 404 not found, right? You get dinged for that because it produces a negative result for their user, right? Especially if you left the video up there, or you might have shared it to whatever, or you might have shared it to your stories, right? But you ended up deleting it because the second guess yourself, you delete. It's like, yeah, no, don't do that because of the fact that you want to remain in good standing. As far as, I'm not talking about getting in trouble for violating community guidelines. You won't get that for deleting videos. You can delete the video. Don't because of those reasons. The backlink, getting people to have a negative experience on the platform, you can get throttled, which means they'll stop pushing your content as hard because you're wishy-washy, right? You're wishy-washy. You create something, you delete it. You create something else, you delete it. It doesn't last on the program, the platform, you delete it, right? You feel like you said things the wrong way, you delete it. No, they don't want that. They want dedication, they want persistence, and they will, even if something does not go well, please archive the video. Go to the settings in the video, go to privacy settings, click only you, right? On TikTok. On any other platform, change the visibility to only you. And almost every platform has that, where you can select only you as far as the disability, the visibility.
Well, see, I've done that to over like 200 videos, so we all know Harley went through a chaos moment where she was like in an agency and things were very insane and all those sorts of things, right? I just feel that my account is in throttle, like it's going nowhere. That's what it feels like.
Well, you know what? Well, here's a tip to give you guys, and all of you guys, because all of y'all are listening, right? Hopefully. Here's what I do in moments where I feel like my account is throttled. And listen, my account is public, so you can go there, and you can see videos with less than 100 views. You can see videos with 10 views. You can see videos with thousands of views, right? Here's what I do. I share content that's already viral, right? And I share something inspirational, something motivational that's already doing really, really well. And I stick to that when I realize my views are not in a good place. I'm not in a place where I want them. That's the first part of what I do. Is share content, whether you do it or whether you stitch or whatever it is. You pick something that's already doing well in the motivation, inspiration category. You format your video just like the person's video you're sharing. You're already tagging them in the post, so you don't have to worry about stealing and all that kind of stuff. Just do it just the same way they did. Same text, same thing. Post that video, right? You do that as a filler video on your account, right? And then you go engage. Spend 20 minutes on your friends feed, people that follow you. Do all the things. Now I'm still got an upchuck reflex for the whole tap the blue circle because you tap the blue circle. But hey, if you want to do that, right? Save, share the video. If you want to share the video, if they're not in your niche, share the video, comment on the video, something genuine, something valuable. Don't listen to me. Oh my God. If I see any student in this academy just comment emojis, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a huge
I don't do that no
problem.
more. I learned my lesson the hard way.
Yeah, I did a long time ago, right? And if you ever see me do that, it's because it's my own account, right? It's my own account, right? But guys, if you're doing that for anybody else, please, even if you're doing it like you got a backup account, please make it your common practice that you comment something meaningful, something related to the video that actually says something, right? And the other little pro tip here is say something in your comment that forces the other person to respond, right? After your comment, I'm not gonna say 5 words, just respond, right? Give them a sentence. And after you put your sentence, saying, how have you been? They gotta answer that, right?
Yeah.
What does that?
Yep.
What
Exactly.
does that do? That gets them. Oh snap! They asked the question. I gotta answer a question because TikTok tells me that you should be responding to your comments. That person asked a question. I need to answer that question. Let me go ahead and answer that question. When they answer that question, they respond to you, and then you can choose if you want to respond to them. Guys, I've been saying this from day one. As far as engagement goes, you should be engaging with people that resonate with you. You should be following people that bring value to you. If they don't bring you value, you have no reason to follow them. Please move on. Please. Because the algorithm is counting on the two-way connection. Because if you follow somebody, you let the platform know that you want to see more of their content because the content is valuable to you. If the content is not valuable to you and the algorithm senses that you're not engaging because you said it's valuable to you, that's why you follow them, but you're not engaging with their videos, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your account. So don't follow anyone that you don't resonate with. They don't bring you value. It happened to me 5 times in the last 2 days. Somebody said, I followed you. They commented, I followed you. Follow me back. I said, why? I don't know you.
That stuff makes me laugh. I get that in my DMs all the time. Why won't you follow me back? Hey, are you in digital marketing? I want to start doing what Justin does. Reply to it, screenshot, and put it on my stories. Let's get this aware. I don't need a sugar daddy. I don't need a mama daddy. I don't need any of that. And I don't need another course for surely. My content isn't even about courses. So why would you ask me that in the DMs? I don't understand.
And listen, and that's a good point, right? But here's the thing. Why can people make that assumption that it's okay to just do that? Because they think that's how it works. They think that's how it's supposed to be done. You just randomly say, hey, I followed you. I gave you something you think is valuable because I think it's valuable. So you should give it back to me. And it's like, no, I don't think a follower is valuable. Hey, let me give y'all an unpopular opinion. A follower is not valuable until they bring value. I will not follow someone until they bring value to me, because that's what the platform is designed to produce. Let me give you the other side to this unpopular opinion. People who follow and don't bring value are considered bots. That's how the algorithm looks at you. When you follow somebody and you don't bring value, you don't create connection, you don't create community, you are considered a bot. Talk will throttle your views, they throttle your exposure because you appear to be bot-ish. Exercise bot activity, but you want human connection. You want human connection? Give it. The Bible says, give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men pour into your bosom. You must give in order to get. If you approach life in the aspect of, I am going to give without expecting, people will give to you freely without expecting anything from you. Thus ends my TED Talk. Right? So, engage on your friends' feed 15, 20 minutes. Engage on the For You page 15 to 20 minutes. And then pick something that you search for in your niche and engage with the first 4 videos in the top post. Click on where it says top and engage with all 4 accounts, all 4 videos, right? First 4 accounts, first 4 videos of those 4 accounts, right? Engage with those people, the first 4 videos. And if none of those 4 videos resonate with you, find 4 that does, right? And engage with them. Once you do that, you can be done, right? You're done with engagement. Once you're done that, you post your motivational, inspirational content from a piece of content that's already gone viral, already doing really well. Great, do that. And it should bring up your view, right? I've had videos do 900 views that previously were doing 120 views, right? Because I did what I just said, right? So go out there and execute. Go out there and give. Go out there and show people where you are now, because where you are now is going to be valuable to them because they're not there yet. All right? So, any last questions before we jump off? Tiffany, I don't know.
Other than the fact that you sound like an Echo robot, no question.
Water in a blender?
So you mean all the, oh, are you serious? All of that sounded messed up?
No, it was for like 15 minutes.
It was what?
Like for 15 minutes. Now he's frozen.
You said 15 minutes it sounded like that?
Yeah, we said it in the comments. We were trying to interrupt you. We were trying to be good students.
You were flowing. What do you do then?
Son of a kumquat. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so good too. Oh man.
I heard send money through Venmo to the 4 first people that you find and follow you. And I was like, what do you do? Why?
All right. So real quick. I'm
only 5 flans. It was something about flans.
Oh my gosh. That was funny.
Right. So we'll try it again 2 times speed, right? Engage in your friend's feed. First 4 videos must resonate with you. 15 minutes on your friend's feed, 15 minutes on your For You page. First 4 videos resonate with you all the way through from the bottom up. Watch the video all the way through. Obviously, watch all the videos all the way through. 15 minutes friends feed, 15 minutes for you feed, and 15 minutes searching a topic that's in your niche. If you're in digital, you should be in digital marketing. You promote stuff, so you're in digital marketing, right? If you're a parent, you're married, whatever it is, you could pick that too, right? I do parents, right? Because I love parent content, right? So find that parents of TikTok, engage with the top 4 videos, engage with the top 4 accounts on 4 of their videos, right? So 4, 4, and 4, right? You spend 15 minutes on each one of those, then post your video, inspirational, motivational, that's already going viral or already gone viral. You post that, either a stitch or duet, whatever it is, format the video just like the original creator did, right? And then you'll be able to post that, and then you should be right as rain. I've done that several times. I've had videos that were in the double digits that went to triple digits, right? So that was what I said in a nutshell. And there was absolutely nothing about blondes.
No flans. Okay, good. I'm gonna diet.
Oh my goodness.
Good question. So I realized my account does not have any pinned post, and I want my pinned post to be like describing exactly what it is, why I'm here, and why you want to watch this channel.
Right.
I was about to just record all 3 and then pin them.
I don't have
my personal opinion is you want one that tells your story, you want one that is more promoting what you offer, and then one that's giving an opinion of something.
Yeah.
But
they all need to be your highest view.
Yeah. Videos that's done well. Now, and I 100% agree, Harley. You need to have one video that showcases who you are, right? And why you are here. Who you are and why you're here. You've done that before, Julio, right?
Yeah.
You've done videos like that before.
Yeah.
So, wait.
I feel like that's all I do.
Right, but you can have 3 videos pinned, right? So like me, right? I have who I am, what I'm doing, and why it helps you, right? The second video that I have is a very popular video that I did showcasing how I make money, right? The third video that I have is showcases what I believe in, which is Jesus Christ. Go sit down, please. Right?
Hang on.
I knew Julio went to sit down. I was talking to my daughter.
I knew he was talking to his kids. He's like, here, fine, I'll sit down.
Okay.
So I have who I am, what I do, and how it helps you. I have how I make money, right? And I have something that I believe in, right? Which I talk about. I have up there one of my pinned videos of the value of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, because that's what I believe, right? So I recommend you do the same. Have a video about who you are, what you do, and how it helps people, right? And like Harley said, you're talking about something. What was the exact words that you used, Harley? Tell them again, the last one.
An opinion post on something.
Yes, an opinion post on something. Yes.
Like you're in Justin's app, aren't you? Like the opinion posts he has us do. I would do one of those, but make sure it's based around still some form of business.
Yeah. And you can already do, and the advantage of doing something that's already up there, already hit, is that people see that, right? Your highest viewed post or one of your highest viewed posts, have that up there as something that's pinned, right? Because people see, yeah, you're getting that type of result. And even if you attract people with that realization that, yeah, you had videos that did really well, they will stay to see what else of value that you have. All right. So that's the recommendation. All right, guys. Well, it is about 3 o'clock. It's 3:05. So we're about to jump off here. This will be up. Hey, doggy. This will be up.
He's not feeling good.
Oh yeah. This recording will be up, if not tonight, tomorrow, because hopefully I can get to my office. I haven't been in there a couple days, going through some stuff, but hopefully I will get this up. If not tonight, I will do it by Thursday. All right.
Sounds
you guys
good.
have more than enough so you guys can keep perusing. Oh, before I get off, did y'all see I dropped a 60-minute video on TikTok?
I did not, but I saw the post about it.
Yeah. Make sure you check that out.
You got the 60-minute video on TikTok?
Yes.
Him and I've been collaborating about this bull crap for close to 3 years now. Well, or at least it feels like 3 years.
I know it does. But people told me that it wasn't possible. People told me that TikTok don't care. There's no way that's happening. And so I'm telling you it did. And the realization of the 60-minute video, even though it doesn't even say that, it says 10 minutes, right? It says 10 minutes. And what that means for you is that you can take a very concentrated portion of your live stream, because your live streams are recorded, right? You can take a portion of your live stream that you actually were flowing, right? And put it as a video on your feed, right?
Okay.
So take that.
You could record a video, right? And then put that on your live stream as a live under like video game.
I mean, you're talking about up here.
What about a video game?
I knew that was there.
I was playing a video game. I had my camera facing me with the little square, and then I was recording my screen. I was playing a very exciting golf game. All right, no judgment, y'all. So I was playing the golf game, the Masters, as the Masters was being played.
Yeah.
And I was being myself with the controller, and then I recorded that for like 40 minutes. The game.
Yeah. How'd you do?
Game I was doing research.
Okay.
And I went ahead and reformatted it to like up and down, and then I set it off as a
live stream.
A live stream. Like, I don't know who commented because I was not there. It was live streaming while I was doing something else. I was sleeping.
Oh, okay. Do us a huge favor. Don't say that in a public setting. Please don't say that in a public setting. This is private, so
I was sleeping?
That you weren't there.
That's a non-juju. You don't do that.
Yeah.
That's a non-juju. You don't do that. That's bad. No, bad.
Which part bad?
We don't do
not
here,
being there for the live. Like that's.
But
that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Wait, but it's telling me to broadcast a recording.
Right.
Okay.
But all I'm telling you is don't say that in a public setting. Right? Don't let people know
you're look down upon you.
Yes, people, but not just people will do that. Because remember, the algorithms will be paying attention. That's why you have the puzzle piece. That's why you have the puzzle piece in the live stream. It was to combat when people would literally have 2-hour videos playing as a live stream, and there's no engagement happening because they're just live just to be live, right? They don't want that.
TikTok's in major competition with Twitch right now, because TikTok is trying to add a lot of the features that Twitch has, but it's also killing different parts of the app if you truly think about it, like all the sleep lives, all the people that are doing recordings and are not around and are not commenting and showing that they're actually physically there. It makes you look like a bot, and it also, like, the whole idea of being live is that you're there for your audience. It's not to show something that's already been played.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what your feed is for. So again, don't say that in a public space. And this is not condemning you, bro, but anybody watching this replay, please Do not do that.
But
If
then
you're going,
me when
listen,
I'm not available.
here's the caveat. Here's the caveat. If you're going to do that, be there. If you insist on doing that,
But it's an option they have.
to showcase a video as a live stream, yes, but they want you to be there
To do what?
to engage.
Uh-huh.
Can I pull my hair out yet? I want to pull my hair out right now. Oh my
Okay,
lord.
do the hair, just don't drop the French, please, because y'all are on speaker, right? So,
All right.
all right,
They can watch me play the video game. I have to engage with them watching
yes,
movie together, but we still gotta engage.
yeah. I don't know about movies. I don't recommend movies, right? Because
Yeah, no, don't do movies.
yeah, I don't recommend movies unless you're talking about a movie you recorded. Yeah,
Right.
don't do that, right? Because it won't let you stay on the program, on the live stream any kind of time. I think even like when myself and Harley, we do every so often we'll do these desktop lives where you can showcase and react to like YouTube videos or other TikToks or whatever it is, right? When you do that and you react or showcase someone else's content, you only have maybe 2 minutes each time that you showcase
Where
someone.
it's considered a copyright. Yep.
Yeah.
You want to be careful with what music you play too. They're still very picky about that if you're showing the actual music video and stuff like that. There are other platforms that aren't as picky, but it's no different than YouTube. I'm trying to give an example, right? When you put YouTube and you're uploading a video and you decide to do it as a premiere show, if you do not show up to your own premiere, you look like a bad creator. It is
Yeah.
against the authenticity of a online creator. It's just something you don't do.
Yeah, just I don't I want to officially come out as in my response as to not recommend not being there. And that's the not part that I'm not recommending. Don't not be there. Be there.
Yeah, make sure you grab your drinks, make sure you go to use the restroom, and you do all of the things before you go live. You want to be as present in the moment with your viewers that you can.
Yeah. Because even though they give you the option because they want you there, right? They want you playing the game, they want you showcasing whatever, but they want you there, right? So that's the key thing that they want. They want you there. And if they discover you're not there, you will get demerit points for it, and they will start throttling the content you do actually produce in your feed. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Love you, bro.
You got this. You're amazing. We're not downing you. We swear. We're just giving you tips and tricks.
Well, the other 75 video games that are recorded. No, I'm kidding.
There's a lot of people that do that on Twitch. Like, I will tell you that I've unfollowed people on Twitch for that, because Twitch is a lot different, right? Like, once you hit affiliate, you're able to throw as many ads up there that you want to, and it could already be pre-recorded or not, and people just sit in there and you're getting paid for those ads. But TikTok's different than that, and you want to make sure that you're still there engaging, you're still talking, you're pausing it, you're commenting on what they're saying, or you're putting your 2 cents in. You don't want to be an unalived creator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for thinking about that, because I was like, why are you using the particular word? And it's like, yeah, this is a recording, so it'll probably go on YouTube. So you know, yeah. Thank you for thinking forward, my friend. I appreciate
You're welcome.
The neighbor did the whole thing with the game. He was bad.
Yeah.
Just in case YouTube.
So yeah, but you know, I will be looking more into that, because that is a feature that intrigued me as well on TikTok. Speaking of that, and I know I said I was gonna get off of here, right? But but I have to share this with you. I have an account on TikTok, Agents of Kingdom Purpose. I have 92 followers. Go follow me. But at 92 followers, they just told me I can go live.
Oh, really?
Yes, 92 followers. They just told me
So they're
I can go
changing the
live.
stipulation.
Yeah, a little bit. because they want people, they want to bring people to the platform. So if they get new users to be able to go live, because there are other platforms that allow users to go live immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what follower account they have. It could be your first day, you can go live.
Yeah.
Right? So they want to compete, right? So 92 followers, and they just told me yesterday that I can go live on my Agents of Kingdom Purpose TikTok account. So make sure you follow me. All right, do all the things, guys. Shameless plug. All right, now I'm out of here. I love y'all. I thank y'all for coming today.
Let me scan you.
Huh?
Let me scan you for a second.
You want? Why you want to scan me, bro?
Hold still.
Stop moving, Ellis.
Oh
By
my
the way,
goodness.
that service is for sale. So if you want shirts like this that have your what do you call it? Your opt-in, your
QR
opt-in
code.
link. Yeah, yes, it is a QR code. Listen to me. This was the biggest hit in business on the cruise I went. Everybody was asking, what is that? Can I bloop? Sure you can. Bloop, sure you can. Like
Nice.
yes.
That's funny.
It is a big conversation piece because they see the skill that pays the bills, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm so glad you asked. Break out your camera phone. Clicks.
I like it.
Yes. So if you want that, it costs you a little extra, but I can get it to you. You know. So for y'all here, if you want to seriously, if you want to do that, I did this through Vistaprint. I got the QR code. I just took my opt-in domain, which is kingdomdigitalacademy.com. I just put that into where they tell you for the QR code. It says create a QR code. And I put the link in there where it should go. It literally tells you what to do. You can create your own QR code, save it as a PNG file, take it to your print-on-demand software. Shirt, baby.
That's a really good idea. I've never thought of it like that. But that's a really good idea.
But here's the caveat though. When you're because you notice in most of the videos that I create, I am wearing this shirt, right? It's for that reason. One, because I have this shirt in my TikTok shop. Two, when you're creating videos, you notice I'm instinctively trying not for the QR code to be visible in my little cutout right here. It's because I've been trained myself to not have that be shown in my videos. That is obvious it's a QR code because it can get flagged and they can take it down because it has a QR code in the shirt. So I try not to let that be visible. You'll see the cutoff right here, right at the Bills word right here. You'll see that, but you won't really see the QR code too much. So yeah, so be careful of that.
Next time, put it on the backside.
I know, but I put it on the front for a purpose because they're coming towards me, right? So if I'm sitting in my scooter, they won't be able to see the QR code.
Right. Zooming by you.
Yes. So anyhow, I'm gonna let y'all go because I kept y'all all here for 2 hours. So
I mean, I was late, but I'm always gonna be late because my therapy is like right at the exact same time. So
yes, we'll be praying that you get an earlier session.
well, I'll work on that. Okay, I'll add that to my bucket list of crap I need.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Talk to you later. Thanks for
Well,
having us.
I will get no problem. It's always a pleasure. Let me go ahead and stop the recording here. I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Yes.